hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Oh, wait, that's how it's correct. It really should be hit the road, Joe. Welcome to Swinging Blindly, where me, Blaise Bryant, in upstate New York, and down in Connecticut, PJ Geary, we're going all around MLB, catching you up on what's been happening, and give you some unique takes and get some color casters involved in the show. Hey, Mr. G.
What's up, Mr. Blaise? Look at you, Mr. B. Oh, see, I missed that. I should have just said Mr. B. Mr. B, how do you be, Mr. B?
Well, how, okay, I missed my shot. All right, strike one. Facebook.com. I'm good, man. I'm good. Facebook.com/Swinging Blindly podcast. On Twitter at Swinging Blindly. Streaming live on the Apple app Colorcast. As we have a bit to get into. Quick, and we'll mention this at the end too. I'm off next week. PJ's going to be flying solo, so Colorcast, help out our boy here. Help out PJ.
Yes.
Come be a part of the show. I look forward to editing it. And
unless anybody listening currently would like to join me as a host, 6 o'clock next Wednesday, 6:30. Sorry, next Wednesday, 6:30 Eastern time. Let us know. But yeah, no, I look forward to it. Even if it's just me talking to nobody, I can talk baseball all day, and that's what we do. So we talk baseball, and we bring you we swing for the fences, and we really don't give a shit if we miss or not.
That's right, my guy. So home plate headlines, as I alluded to in the intro, it involves a couple of people named Joe, does it not?
It does, Blaise. Home plate headlines number one. We had Joe 2 times fired. 2 Joes were fired this past week. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe a little mix of the From the Booth segment and home plate headlines. Am I right in saying that you have a couple of clips for us to give us some insight on these firings?
Yeah, sure. Joe Madden was fired by the Angels as they have been in the midst of an absolute free fall. 12-game losing streak at the time of his firing. They lost again to the Red Sox yesterday. So after the firing, that brings it to 13. David Sampson, former president of the Florida Marlins.
Florida Marlins. Yep.
Yeah, then Florida Marlins. He's an analyst in sports or CBS Sports HQ. Here's what he had to say about Madden's firing.
I'm just not sure what's different between right now and a week ago, and then last season, and then before last season. That's my big issue here, Chris, is Artie Moreno was making this move, the owner of the Angels, out of complete desperation. And when you make moves out of desperation, and I've done a lot of them, they generally don't work. Phil Nevin will be a different voice, but the players will be the same players, and the pitching staff will be the same pitching staff.
What's your take on that, PJ?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it was kind of I don't have it up in front of me, and I should, but Madden's been there for a couple of years now. I mean, this has been coming off of of breaking the curse of the Cubs. One of the hottest free agent coaches, at least in our lifetime, I would say. It totally. And shout out David Sampson right there, because he is completely correct. It's this. Calling a spade, it is the same players. It is the same roster. It is the same pitchers. And shout out also Phil Nevin, former Yankee.
Yankee coach.
Thank you.
He was our third base coach.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like I feel like Joe Madden might still have something to give. I don't really know where this ends up, if he continues to coach or not. But as you said, 12 13 game losing streak. I mean, with the roster that they have, I mean, it's just we've talked about it on the show about the Angels and
Yeah.
how they've wasted one of the greatest players who might have ever lived in Mike Trout, and now they have another generational talent in Shohei, and it something's got to give, right?
Yeah, I guess there's got to be a fall guy, and the fall guy is usually the manager. Even though, let's be honest, I mean, in the Samson clip, he talked about Artie Moreno making desperate moves. Artie Moreno has felt like a very desperate owner for a long time because he's made a lot of quote unquote big moves that have not panned out. Look at Anthony Rondon. When the frig does that guy ever play?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
and
Mike
stay
Trout,
healthy.
that had to be done, sure. Shohei Ohtani, that seems to be like it's been a good get, although he seemingly cannot pitch against the Yankees. I'm not going to cry about that, that's for sure. But he has appeared to be a very desperate owner trying to get back the success that the team had in the late 2000s, mid to late 2000s, after the World Series. And he hasn't been able to make it happen because the core has not been good. Not just in the players, but the leadership level. Like, that core of Garrett Anderson, Tim Salmon, Troy Gloss, John Lackey, Jared Washburn, those
Jim Edmonds.
Jim Edmonds.
Did you say Edmonds?
Now I said Edmonds. That core. I mean, that's a core of men. This is like a kind of a patchwork quilt team, and it has felt like that to me for a while.
Yeah. I don't know if Jim Edmonds was on that 0-2 team, but I know what you're talking about. David Eckstein.
Eckstein, I knew I was,
Yeah.
and look at me, I overlooked the short guy. Sorry, Dave Eckstein. What a hell of a player.
All-time Cardinal. He won World Series MVP in 0-2 and in 0-6. So that for those that are wondering.
Yes. The great David Eckstein.
Shout out David Eckstein. Maybe we'll get him on the. Shone Figgins, says Brett Monroe. Another.
Yes.
Another big former Angel. He was definitely one of those guys you would get in the video games because he was the fast guy. He was just like the utility guy. Yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, as we've gone on this tangent about the Angels, but because you want to know why, Blaise? It's because this is a team that should, especially after being the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, they signed Pujols. They have Mike Trout. They signed, who was the other guy that year with Pujols? Kobe Lewis, I believe? Or C.J. Wilson? Might have been C.J. Wilson.
Was it C.J. Wilson?
I
yeah, that was a while
C.J.
ago.
Wilson. And the same year that they had signed Pujols, they signed C.J. Wilson to a massive deal.
That worked out well, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So, and they have nothing to show for it. They have nothing to show for the big Pujols contract. They have nothing to show for Mike Trout. They don't even have a division series win. It's now or never. And you know what? All backing to Phil Nevin. I imagine Joe Madden will land on his feet. He's a made man in Chicago, that's for sure. So, let's see what happens. But to get to another Joe.
Well, before we do, I mean, Madden. I don't know, man. I think this is it, and here's why: because he's the one that started all this analytic stuff 15 years ago, and it has gradually kind of seeped into baseball and has made it what it is today. The fourth outfielder, and some of these weird things that are going away. I think Madden's time is up. I really do, because why would he go back to Chicago? To go back to the Cubs? No, that's a mess. The White Sox, they're pretty well positioned. Yeah, Philadelphia might need a manager, but why do you want to go to a major market like that and deal with that stuff? I don't know. I just think I think Madden's time is up. And it's not because he's a bad manager. The guy changed the freaking game of baseball, good, bad, or indifferent, and is a Hall of Fame manager, in my opinion. But everything in life has a beginning and an end.
Absolutely. And the end came for Mr. Madden and also for another Joe, another former coach of your New York Yankees, Blaise. Why don't you hit us with the clip that you got for the other Joe that was sadly let go?
Sure, on Friday, Joe Girardi was fired. Here's General Manager Dave Dombrowski talking about why now and what can interim manager Robbie Thompson bring to the table.
I'm around the club on a day in, day out basis, so you're always having a pulse of what's happening with the team. And so for me at this point, and I don't put it all on Joe, as we said in the release, we've been a club that has struggled. I'm disappointed. I mean, I put the club together. I think we're better than what we played. But to me, I think the most important part of if we're going to turn this around, and I think we still have the capabilities to do it, I think we need a different voice in the clubhouse. I think a different voice in the clubhouse with the players, with the staff members, and I think that Topper provides that. I think he'll provide a different type of communication aspect with the players, with everybody taking place. And so I think that was really important for us to get it going.
Hi, there's Dave Dombrowski, who's been a journeyman guy who has made a career out of turning teams around and then them going to hell. So, yeah, all right, cool. Let's blame Girardi. Why don't you blame your damn self a little bit more than what you did? Because you've put together such a terrible roster.
Yeah, a very top-heavy roster, I would say. And I just want to. I'm sorry. I was looking it up in between, but I have to mention this. It's very strange, I think. Do you know who was a coach on the 0-2 championship Anaheim Angels?
Who was a coach on the 0-2 Anaheim? No.
Joe Madden.
That's right. That's right, because that launched him into his managerial career, starting out with Tampa Bay. Yeah.
And just a wild coincidence there. But yeah.
Yeah.
Girardi, I think Girardi gets I believe it was even said that it was going to be that they were going to keep him. I think it may not have been said explicitly, but I think the thought was that Girardi was going to get the time to stay and try to get the ship right, but then he gets the axe, and such is baseball, I guess.
Yeah, well, he didn't get the axe. I'm sorry, I don't know anyone that could manage that team and succeed with it right now. I really don't know.
Why do you say that?
Have you seen how they play? It's bad baseball.
Yeah,
it looks very mal-fundamental to me. The times that I've seen them play.
The lineup is good on paper, but the execution is not there.
Execution's atrocious.
Yeah. And the pitching staff is not constructed well enough, and they went all in, and I think Dombrowski is to blame as just as much as Girardi, if not more, as you said.
Yeah, I mean, well, I tend to put a little bit more blame on the general manager than most people do, because they're the ones that put the damn roster together.
Yeah.
A manager, yeah, can win you a few games here and there, certainly can lose you a few games here and there too with some decision-making or not having the foresight to make decisions. But at the end of the day, the GM is the one who puts it together.
That's absolutely correct, and it's one of those things too, and it makes home plate headlines because these are coaches being fired in June, and
early
I don't
June.
know, Early June, and I don't know how often that has happened over the last couple of years. I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but when that happens this early in the season, that's a big deal. So, and at the same time, these are teams that, by making that move, are not happy with their current product and want more. So, keep an eye on the Angels and the Phillies going forward, is what I would say. Um,
Yeah,
but
yeah. How are the clips? Are the clips coming across the line okay for you?
yeah, that's so. Hey, Brett, if you can chime in how the clips are sounding, we would love to hear that. But moving on,
Yeah,
before we get to
I
from the
don't.
booth,
Yeah, I don't know how I got this weird static out of our. Because it's happened the past few shows. There's this weird static that plays. Whenever I play clips from the computer, just because of how I have to hook things up with this
yeah,
backup board. So I'm knock on wood, that seems to be gone.
yeah, seems to be okay so far.
Yeah.
Um,
So
but
yeah,
home plate headline number 2, my friend.
3.
3, yes, technically number 3. I guess if you count Madden Girardi as 1, 2. Number 3 would be, hey, we have 2, and the Cardinals had the player of the month. Players of the month today were Paul Goldschmidt of the St. Louis Cardinals
Not
and
sure what that
Aaron
was about.
Judge of the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
What say you?
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me? I don't know what happened. My phone did.
Uh,
You got me?
yeah, and Brett says the clips are soft for him on Colorcast, barely audible, but you guys sound great.
Sorry about that, Bretty boy. When we get the new
Yes.
setup, when we get the, or when not new setup, but when I get my other board back, then we'll be in good shape. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, I had this weird thing happen where like the Colorcast audio disappeared, and then a couple of notes of "You May Be Right" came on by Billy Joel. So I don't know what that was all about.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, well, and your audio faded out a little bit. So you were talking about the players of the month with Goldschmidt for the Cards and Aaron Judge for the Yankees, and I texted you when it came out and said, "Hey, my guy, we have things to celebrate."
Absolutely. And I'm on, Judge is on a complete 22 home runs, I believe now.
Yeah,
When May ended, he had 19, with 12 of them coming in May. He had Judge batted 311 with a 1.077 OPS, and his 25 RBIs were also second in the AL. He's having a massive season, and he's my guy, so I have a future on Paul Goldschmidt to win the MVP, which plus it was 8,100, so 81 to 1. Um, it was Goldschmidt to win the MVP. Goldschmidt, a lot of people might know, had a 26 game hitting streak that just ended the other day. I don't know if Trey Turner's is still going on, by the way, because Trey Turner his was a game ahead. So if that's still going on, he's close to 30. But Goldschmidt had a 26 game hitting streak. He batted a 404 in May, 1.288 OPS, was the best in the majors, and then 10 home runs in the month of May, and 33 RBIs. That makes both Judge and Goldschmidt now 3-time Player of the Month award winners. I mean, these are guys that are just on a tear. They're unconscious, and I wanted to ask you, like, now that Goldschmidt's hitting streak's done, so it's not as we'll keep an eye on him since I have the future on him. But how do you feel as a Yankee fan, with Judge doing this in the year that he's bet on himself?
I love it. I absolutely love it, and I mean not just because, hey, we have 40 wins and his offense has been a big part of that, but also too, like this forces the Yankees to get something done. This force, he's essentially saying to the Yankees, I want to fucking play for you. So let's get something done.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's going to command more than what they offered. Is what I'm saying. Is that not a fact?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say because
He might hit 65 home runs. He might hit 70 home runs.
I don't know about 70, but
He's got 22 on June 8th.
well, that's true. Yeah. I mean, if he does, wow. Just wow.
What do you do then?
Well, what do you do? I mean, to me, the only answer is that you. I mean, I think you have to work.
You pay the man.
I think you do, but
Yeah.
I'm not paying. I'm not going longer than 6 years on the contract. If Judge wants a 7th year, I'm sorry, bro. If you're not willing to negotiate, and the reason they say that is because the Yankees, because of the Stanton contract, because of the Cole contract, have put themselves in kind of contract hell.
Yeah. We'll have to see where that goes.
Or I mean, would be really sweet. Give me 3 years, 125. That's $45 million a year. No, 4 years. That's 135. Blaise, can you math? 4 years, 3 years, 135. Or you do 3 years, 120, or 4 years, 160, something like that. That way, because I mean, to me, the way the Twins did the Correa contract, 3 years, 103, or something along those lines, that makes a lot of sense. And I would love for the Yankees to do something like that, where you're giving them a shit ton of money on, across the length of the contract, because that's going to be his prime value. There's no way in hell that value after the contract, if it ended in 3 or 4 years, there's no way the value on that increases.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a talked about issue, especially as we get closer to the off season. But I just want to say a quick shout out to Nikki G, who says in the chat, "Great future on Goldie." Shout out Nikki G for listening. And I did want to also say before we move on, Blaise, Goldschmidt gives the Cardinals not only their second straight Player of the Month, but third straight going back to last year. No one won in April, and Tyler O'Neill was the last regular season winner of Player of the Month in 2021. So
Well,
shout out the Cardinals.
How about that? Good stuff.
How about that? Yeah, and I'm sure the Judge contract will be talked about a bunch on this podcast. But Blaise, before we get to, we won't get into that necessarily unless once we get to the bullpen calls. Maybe if anybody wants to talk about Judge or whatever you want to talk about. But before we get to that, we have from the booth. Take it away, Blaise.
Yeah.
The booth.
All right, from the booth, a couple of really cool things happening. We had a Renaissance performance from a man who pitched against the Angels Monday night.
He's going to ground this one to the shift. Story has it. And what a performance tonight from Waka. He goes all the way. A 3-hit shutout in Anaheim. The Red Sox win it 1-0. They continue to roll on the backs of outstanding starting pitchers. Tonight, it's Waka's turn to shine. Man, did he ever in Southern California. Michael Wacha, who, when he came up as a Cardinal, you thought he was going to be this can't-miss guy, and and thanks to NESN, New England Sports Network, Red Sox TV, for the call, a complete game for Michael Wacha, 3-hit shutout, and the Red Sox only got 1 run. I mean, that just goes to show you offensive ineptitude continues for the Angels.
And so I believe I'm trying to find it right now.
And the great Dave
20
O'Brien on that call.
Shout out Dave O'Brien, 2012 MLB draft. Because I want to find.
Was it 2012 when he was drafted?
Yes, he was the 19th pick in the 2012 MLB draft. Yeah, first round. Yeah, because I'm a Milwaukee guy. I mean, I actually, just quick story. I went to a Cardinals Mets game. It was one of the windier. It was a windy game, and Waka had 11 strikeouts through 4 innings. Had 11 strikeouts, but he also had 5 walks through. So I'll never forget because of how like dominant he looked. But then he was also like the Cardinals were losing. So
He did a really good job of missing the bat. That's for sure.
yeah, and and I'm happy for him with this little resurgence. I'm happy that he's pitching well so far in Boston, and it stings a little bit, but I'll never, once a Cardinal is a Cardinal. I'll never root against the guy. So unless World Series, then all bets are off. But
Or if they're playing the Cubs.
yeah, in both of the I would root for the Cubs over the Red Sox.
Right. No,
Absolutely.
what I'm saying, but that player, a former player, a former Cardinal,
Correct.
in a Cubs uniform.
Correct.
That'd have to suck seeing that.
That would, yes, correct.
I mean,
That stings like Jim Edmonds. I mean, Jim Edmonds did it, but
That's right.
I've forgiven him, so we're good. We're good.
Edmonds also did quite a bit and helped you get some rings. So you
One
want to,
ring.
yes, or one ring. Yep. So New York Met
Yes.
made
Shout out
history.
Nicky G.
Yeah, a New York Met made history by hitting for the cycle, had a single, double, a home run, and then did this.
And Escobar shoots one down the right field line toward the corner, and it's beyond the reach of Mazzara. Alonso is in to score. Canna right behind him. It's going to be a triple for Escobar. He's got the cycle. Eduardo Escobar with 2 more RBIs, 6 for the night, and he has hit for the cycle, the first Met in 10 years to have a single, double, triple, and home run in the same game.
Do you know who that Met was? Gary Cohen, SNY, on the call with Keith Hernandez. Do you know who that Met was, PJ? That got the last cycle.
10 years, you said, right?
Yes.
Oh man,
It is not someone you would immediately think of. I will give you that much of a hint.
Ike Davis or Ike. What's his name? Ike. I don't know.
No.
Give me one more guess, or give me a hint.
I'm going to give you another hint. He has a brother named Jerry who is a major leaguer.
Oh man, I don't know. Just tell me.
Scott Hairston.
Whoa, the Hairston guys, Hairston Jr. Jeez.
Yes, Scott Hairston. Jerry's younger brother.
That was the last one for the Mets. Was what he said?
That was the last cycle. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is incredible. And you can't really, I mean, these Mets, man, you can't really make them up. I mean, the way that they're winning games, these come from behinds, the combined no hitter, and then you have something like this where Escobar was not playing particularly well going into this game, and then he hits for the cycle 6 RBIs. I mean, it's weird. It's weird. I guess if the Cardinals can't be in the World Series, it's going to be the Yankees anyway, which it's looking like. And yes, I am trying to jinx the Yankees by saying this, but it's looking like the Yankees might be the best team in baseball. So let's just assume it's the Yankees in the World Series. If it's not the Cardinals, I'd love to see a Subway Series. So let's go. And what a game by Eduardo Escobar there. What a pickup also by the Mets.
Could you imagine if it's a Yankees-Cardinals World Series? We'd have to do pre-games.
Oh, yeah.
We'd have to do a pre-game swinging blindly.
Oh, we'd have to do live. Yeah. We'd have to do a live stream in some shape or form.
Yeah.
Is what I would say.
I mean, hell,
But,
we should, try
Yeah,
and,
go ahead.
do that a little bit more if we could.
Yeah, absolutely. I think maybe if the people want it, we'll give it to them. So
All
we'll
right.
see what we can do. But
Yeah.
is that it from the booth?
That's it from the booth. And I promised you no Sterling, and I
You did?
am a man of my word.
Question: was there any Sterling calls that you could have used?
Not that I can think of. I did hear Susan make reference to, her words, not mine, 50 cents first pitch
Love it.
a few weeks ago.
All the 50 cents, 50 more, and you get $1.
Yeah.
And there you go. So there it is. So that was home plate headlines. That was from the booth here on the Swinging Blindly podcast with PJ and Blaise, where you can find us on Twitter at Swinging Blindly. You can find us on Facebook at the Swinging Blindly podcast. And we're on Colorcast as you hear us now. And wherever you get your podcasts, you can find us there as well.
Be up tomorrow.
Yes, be up tomorrow, and we'll make sure you can find that. But Blaise, why don't we open it up to the bullpen? Because it's time for the bullpen calls, where we open it up to the lovely listeners on Colorcast.
Absolutely.
You can join the hot seat and talk whatever baseball you want. I guess we would encourage anybody in there, which currently the Peach Pirate, Swaggy B, Nikki G, and Brett Monroe, to either request the mic or we can invite you. But if you can, if you're able to, let us know in the chat if you need to for us to invite you, or if you want to just go ahead and request the chat. Oh, there it is, Brett Monroe, our boy.
Of course, leading off. Brett
Leading off.
Monroe.
There it is. There it is.
Yes. Swoops.
We'll give him what? 6 minutes?
Yeah.
No, we have to give a Peach Pirate 7, right?
No. We're not playing that game. I did a swoops.
No.
Wait, no. I'm pissed at you right now because I did a swoops and you missed the there it is.
There it is.
Okay,
Sorry.
hang on. No, take two. Swoops.
There it is.
There we go. That's right, my guy. So yeah, we'll give each of you 6 minutes. Whoever wants to.
Peach Pirate will always get a minute more than Brett. Always, we agreed.
Well then, I don't know. Bretty boy, you are now here, so defend yourself. Why your brother?
We agree.
I'm honestly fine with that. You said he was more articulate with me, and that just means he has an extra minute to possibly bury himself with. So ball is in his court now with the extra minute. But I wanted to actually. It's funny that PJ, you were kind of joking as like, oh, we've talked about the Angels a lot, but that's what I actually wanted to call and talk to you guys about today. Because Artie Moreno should sell the team. I don't think the Angels have any commitment to winning. Despite the amount of money that he hands out, which I just looked it up. The team is worth about $2 billion. If he sold the team, he probably has spent more in payroll, so he probably wouldn't even recoup the amount of payroll that he's already spent to lose and get nothing out of it. And the thing is, Artie Moreno is not going to sell the team, which is why Joe Madden gets fired, because the manager in any line of employment, so whatever the title they have, supervisor, foreman, that's always the fall guy, because you can't fire everybody, so you fire the manager and then replace that piece. And Blaise, I would have, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I do think Madden gets a job in baseball again before Girardi.
That's interesting, and I'm just going to repeat this because I know for you, you said that the clips come across really softly on the other side of the line, and that's because just this setup is not meant for this, and we're doing the best we can. David Sampson, former president of the Florida Marlins, he essentially said the same thing as you. And I want to throw this to you. Why do you think Madden gets a job before Girardi?
I think it's because Joe Girardi represents a little bit more of the old school, and even though a lot of what Madden brought to the game was like the new way to play baseball, which also made it kind of a more boring product to watch too.
Yes.
I don't know. There's just something about the way that he connects with the team. I think Girardi carries that sort of reputation of being a difficult manager to the like a very challenging manager to the players. He's not. I don't think he's like Showalter, who also kind of has that reputation, but is also like the players seem to just rally around him more. I just think Joe Madden finds a place with another team where I think Girardi probably goes back to TV, honestly. And it's not that either of them are bad managers. If I had to bet one way or another, Madden gets a job in baseball again before Girardi.
Yeah, not a bad gig, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah, I just think there's a team that's still willing to give Joe Madden a chance out there where a lot of other teams would pass on Girardi at this point.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. It's a strange situation, I would say. But while we have you, Brett, you got about 2 minutes or so. Thoughts on the Yankees? Let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I like the Aaron Judge talk, and Blaise, I really like your idea, but I think the problem is that Judge wants the years. So even if you offer $45 million a year for 3 or 4 years, and it's a really nice salary, I think Judge still wants that long-term security that other players who have produced at his level have gotten. So even though the Correa structure, I guess, would be more per year, I think he still wants to get to at least 8. So if you do 4 or 5 super packed years, I think you would still have to include 3 years of options.
So
to reach the amount of years that he still wants out of his next contract.
I mean, you heard what the number would be for me. What would it be for you?
I thought what you offered was fair, and I also thought what the Yankees offered before this year started was a fair offer.
I agree.
So, I mean, I don't want to touch.
But if
I don't
you
want
were
to touch 40. I don't want to touch 40 million a year. But 36, 37
for how many years? If you were writing the contract, how many years would it be?
Because he declined 7, that tells me he wants 8 or more. I don't know. Maybe it's 10, but we don't know. I just think all we do know is he wants more than 7.
I mean, part of me.
I don't know if it was the amount that bothered him or the amount of years.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I was getting the sense that it was the amount. Because 7 years is pretty.
Well, credit to Judge and his people that all we can do is speculate.
Yeah.
10 seconds left for Brettsy boy.
So, I mean, I want the Yankees to pay the man, but also, I mean, Juan Soto in 2024?
Yeah. Hey, that's a great thought, my guy. So, Bretty boy, thank you very much. Good call out of Bretty boy. PJ, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, just in general, it's one of those things that I went through it with Pujols when it comes to Judge, and it's a new game. It's a new day where these contracts can be. It comes down to the guy. I mean, Pujols got his bag. He could have gone to the Cardinals for what 180, 195, I think it was, for 10 years, and then he ends up going to the Angels for 215. I believe. I think I have that right.
I thought it was 250. Was it 250? Either way.
Look that up.
Yeah.
Other approvals. Yeah, either way. Angels.
A lot of damn money.
Okay.
And that was 10 years ago. 11 years ago.
Yeah, no. Oh. Nope, 252. You're right.
200.
Oh, no. That's not true. I don't want to put that out there.
Well, I mean, it's... Yeah.
It's around there. Oh, here it is. 240.
So he got 24 mil a year for 10 years. And the
In
Cardinals...
2011, yep.
2011. See, 11 years ago. I mean, 24 mil 11 years ago. That was a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's still a lot of money today, but it's more par for the course. Who else are we punching up here, Peach?
Let's see. We'll see if the Peach Pirate wants to hop on. I'll invite him
All right, so
for 7 minutes.
I'll tell you what. I gotta give Bretty Boy this. He had a good rationale for why the Peach Pirate should get 7.
Yeah, well, it was already set in stone. I mean, it didn't really matter what Bertie Boy said. I mean, these are day one guests here.
Yo, yo!
Oh, there he is, and there he is, the Peach Pirate himself. And you did get an extra minute over Bertie Boy as promised.
What's up, my fellow co-hosts? How we doing?
Pretty good, man. You hunting for peaches? Sounds like you're on the road.
First of all, I just wanted to tell you guys that I always deserve an extra minute more than Brighty Boy, because he doesn't know what to do with the time even when he's on. Okay? First and foremost. Okay? And next time you're hunting for a co-host, you already got one. You just got to ask me. But my services don't come cheap. So last time I talked to you guys, it was about the mustache. And I know... Blaise, I know that, as far as the mustache is concerned, you're kind of out on that situation. I get it. But I've been growing my mustache since I talked to you guys that day. And I would only love it if you guys had, like, a live podcast thing so that I could, show you guys what I'm working with. You know what I mean?
Well, so what are you working with?
Okay. So I grew out a peach fuzz on my beard. Like, you know what I mean? Like above the lip, I got a little peach fuzz.
Nice,
and
nice.
That's not anything to do with me being a peach pirate. That's how it comes. Okay.
Okay.
So the reason I was calling you guys was, for one, I really liked Girardi. I even liked him when he was a manager on the Yankees. So I don't agree with the whole Joe Madden and the Girardi situation. I mean, both of them got fired because their teams were underperforming, and yes, they are the fall guys. I get it, but I still think that based on what they were working with, they did the best they can. I mean, they're not out there hitting or catching or fielding. So what can you do, right? Kind of the nature of the beast.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I still feel that the Yankees made a mistake in firing Girardi in 2017.
I would agree with that. Very much so. Here's my take on everything. So I was calling you guys because I wanted to talk to you guys straight up about, the leading hitter in NL, Goldschmidt on the Cardinals. Shout out to, I have a very close source to the Cardinals team. He's a Cardinal fan, been a Cardinal fan his whole life. And he told me that Goldschmidt was actually considering growing a mustache because he's doing so well. And I said, that's a great idea. So, another thing, I just wanted to touch base real quick because the Yankees are playing against the Twins, who are the league leading in their division, and the Yankees are the league leading in their division. Yeah. So, I love the fact that Gary Sanchez is hitting like 220 and doing absolutely nothing over there. because we all knew he wasn't doing anything in New York, so why pay the guy the kind of money he was asking for? If all we want is a defensive catcher, that's great. And on top of that, Urshela, I liked the guy. I liked him on the Yankees, but he just didn't fit. Torres is too good. You got DJ LeMahieu, who could play wherever in the infield. Didn't deserve that kind of money. One thing I'm pissed about is the Andujar asking for a trade. I don't like that. I don't like that on many reasons. How do you guys feel about it?
If you're Andujar, why wouldn't you ask for a trade? Because
if I was him, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, 100% he should be asking for it. And I'm not mad at him. I'm more mad at the Yankees for, making this even a thing. Like, Joey Gallo is batting, I don't know, maybe like a buck and change. Like, why is that guy even in the lineup? And even if he smacks a home run, the other 20 times he's up at bat, he's either striking out or pop out or ground out. Get rid of the dude. Why another team is paying the Yankees money to play Joey Gallo. What are we thinking?
Well, it's simple. Options.
Yes.
Can I ask both of you?
Yes.
Can I ask both of you? And am I saying this right? And Duhar?
Yep.
Andujar, yeah.
What is his value to the Yankees currently?
Currently, I would say probably not so much because they already have people in place and he's more of a fill-in role. But I don't agree with that only because, put him out in left field, put him out, at third base every now and then. And, yes, he was a great utility guy, but he was also more than that. I mean, he led the team in doubles the first year, and then he got hurt, and then he never really got a chance. And I just feel like they shortchanged him a little bit. I'm kind of pissed at Andujar asking for a trade, and not him personally, but the Yankees not giving him an opportunity.
Well, I mean, here's the other thing, and I'll keep this as quick as I can because you're about to run out of time.
Yeah,
he had a lot. He had a lot of injuries, and there were other people that were able to step into those spots and succeed when he was injured. Yeah. I don't want to say Andujar's been Wally pipped, but that's just the reality.
That's kind of what happens in sports,
right?
I'll agree with that. But I still don't like it, And then
I'm with you.
I want to leave this off with one thing. Nasty
15.
Nestor has the greatest mustache in all of sports, and everybody should strive to grow one like that, or at least try. You know what I mean? Try. For me, if you're a Yankee fan, put the mustache on. Just do it. You too, Blaise.
I will, and the Peach Pirate got cut off there.
Yep. And shout out to Sports GPS joining us here, saying Gallo is not starting today. And then Brett added Urshela isn't even on the team anymore, and Plate and Duhar in left. So shout out to the guys we got listening right now, and we got a couple more minutes. We want to try and get one more person.
Yes.
Sports GPS. Do you want the mic?
Yeah, sure. We'll give them the mic. Sure. This will be our final call in our bullpen calls. Swinging Blindly podcast with me, Blaise Bryant, and PJ Geary, streaming live on the Colorcast Apple app, Facebook.com/Swinging Blindly podcast. Who do we have?
Yep. Sports
All right,
GPS.
CJ with the Sports GPS, guys. How's it been?
Hey, man.
What's up, man?
Oh, just hanging out, getting ready to watch some Phillies baseball here in a little bit. As they're playing in Milwaukee, starting at 8:10. Really enjoying what they're doing right now. Post the Joe Girardi era, I think Rob Thompson or Topper or Tomps or Topper, whatever nickname that anybody throws out for him, those are the top three that I have seen via Todd Selecki, the beat writer for Philly.
Well, I'm not
he's
calling
doing
him
with that
Topper,
team
though.
is awesome.
Yeah, I'm not calling him Topper because that makes me think of the penguin in Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I mean, those are just the three big ones. Topper, and Tomper are the big three, according to most of the guys in the clubhouse. Aaron Nola even sat there and said he's starting tonight. He even said that it depends on the day on what he calls him. So it's kind of the big thing. These guys are rallying around him as the interim manager. Obviously, Dave Dombrowski sat there and said, they need to have a new voice in that clubhouse. And apparently, Rob Thompson is the man with that voice. They've rattled off 5 straight. Now, I know 3 of them were against the lowly Angels, but one was a comeback fashion. And if you didn't watch the game and you didn't see the highlights on Sunday, the Phillies had no life up until the 8th. Odubel Herrera, who's actually shockingly leading the team in OPS right now.
Shout
Don't
out
ask me how
Odubel.
that's possible.
Shout out Odubel.
Right. As much as I hate to like the guy, Odubel doing what he's doing, he hits a bloop single, the inning unfolds, you end up with bases loaded and 2 out with Bryce Harper at the dish. 3-1 count, and the ball two count, my apologies. Ball squirts away, and it could have gone to the backstop, and Bryce instantly throws up his hand like, Odubel, don't take this bat out of my hand, as he might have been coming in from third to score on the wild pitch.
Oh, yeah.
Harper literally throws his hand up and says, don't you dare take this bat out of my hand. The next pitch, he deposits in the second deck like only Bryce Harper does. In grand fashion with his grand slam. It was phenomenal. And then the rookie sensation, Bryson Stott, who is up and playing second base now with Segura on the IL, and Didi Gregorius back, hits the 3-run walk-off homer that led to 2 homers in his second stint in the week versus the Angels. He's finally getting a hot bat. So is JT Realmuto. As much as I want to state that the Mets are for real. They look phenomenal right now. The Phillies are starting to round into form, and if you say that baseball doesn't win championships, money doesn't win championships in baseball, you'd be a liar, because the top 4 teams in the bigs with the biggest payroll, Yankees, Mets, Phillies, and I want to say the Angels were a top 4 payroll. At the beginning of the year, the Angels were doing great things. Now they've fallen. Oh, sorry, the Dodgers. That's the one I'm missing.
Yeah.
Yankees, Mets, Dodgers, Phillies. Angels are 5. The Phillies are finally rounding into form, but the other 3 that I mentioned are tops in their division. The Yankees in the AL East, the Mets in the NL East, and, of course, the Dodgers in the NL West. Money does win championships in baseball.
Well, I mean, yes, and no. I mean, but the example I'd go back to where money does not win championships, PJ, is Kansas City in 2016 or 2015. Excuse me. When you first heard Joe Girardi was fired, what was your thoughts?
I was shocked because Dave Dombrowski doesn't fire managers mid-season.
I know.
But I was happy. For some odd reason, I felt like Joe Girardi was complacent in the role. And really, outside of the one Yankees season that was actually built before he got there, his one magical run in 2009 as the Yankees manager. I mean, really, he didn't breed championship teams. So really, I loved us hiring Joe Girardi at the start. In the start of his tenure in Philly, I loved it. However, it just it had turned sour. On my podcast this past Saturday, we went over the fact that there were some relievers that shouldn't have even been pitching as much as they did, i.e. Nick Nelson had more innings than Brad Hand. James Norwood had more innings than Brad Hand.
Wow.
You got 30 seconds there.
Yeah.
Sports GPS.
Thanks. I mean, it's just crazy to think that these guys, he was misusing the bullpen so bad. I would really like to see Sir Anthony Dominguez in the closer role or Brad Hand, depending on how many lefties, righties, as compared to Knable, as last night was scary after the 2 solo shots against Hader to break that up. 40 straight innings scoreless. It was great. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Great call by you. Great call. That's
Great
what?
call.
This is one of my favorite calls we've ever took.
Yeah, we need the sports GPS guy. Absolutely.
As often
yeah. Please come back. We that was we're coming to the end of this show, but we would love to call to the bullpen to the sports GPS. So that was awesome.
It was a terrific call.
Absolutely.
Someone that for me, all I had to do was just make sure the audio was good. I mean,
That was it. Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely, man. Hey, I mean, we've talked a lot of baseball.
We have, and the show has flown by. Again, I'm off next week. PJ, you're gonna give it a shot flying solo, or have the Peach Pirate, or what? What do you?
Yeah, Peach Pirate, Sports GPS. I mean, hey, just next week, everybody that's listening to this right now, just hop in the chat. I'll have everybody on. We could do elongated things. I don't know if I'll do a specific host, but we could do 10, 20-minute sessions, So if you're listening right now, please hop on next week to help me do my show. So or do our show. Excuse me. I'm sorry. To do the Swinging Blindly. If you want to swing blindly with me, just make sure you're here this exact time next week, except 6:30. We generally take people. We take calls at 7 o'clock is what we kind of try to do. But next week, we'll be taking calls the entire time. So 6:30, make sure you're on Colorcast. Make sure you check out Facebook at Swinging Blindly Podcast and Twitter at Swinging Blindly. Yeah, that's what I would say. And then anywhere you get your podcast, because this is going to be up tomorrow, right, Blaise?
That is right, my guy, and I know the show is going to be awesome, and I look forward to, listening to it when you get me the recording and I edit it. So, looking forward to hearing the show. I'm starting a new job. Not next week, but the week after. So, just having a week to, just sleep and recharge. So. Very, very much looking forward to that. Even though even though I am gonna miss the show, but trust me, I'll be back in 2 weeks, and hopefully, my guy, I'll have my regular board back, and we can carry on the way we always have.
Absolutely, and we're doing the same thing every week, Blaise. I mean, we're swinging for the fences, and who cares? Who or what cares where we hit it, if we hit it, or where we go?
That's right, my guy. Well put. So you'll be back next week, and I'll be back in 2. So thank you, everyone, for listening. And again, give us a shout out. Let us know what you think. Because that's what we need. Let us know what you think. Facebook.com/Swinging Blindly Podcast. On Twitter at Swinging Blindly. Wherever you get your podcast. And on the live Colorcast app. So look for PJ to put this out. Under his Colorcast name. And it's going to be a great show, my guy, next week. I'm looking forward to listening to it.
Absolutely. Love you, man.
All the love.
And we're swinging blindly for the fences because who gives a shit if we swing or miss?